moving into BYOB, where we create interesting and unique builds. Anton, do you want to take it away?
Hello, and welcome to BYOB, where we focus on making wacky, exciting, and sometimes broken D&D character builds. Today, we are having a sneak peek at Rogue. Bring out your best cape, hide your daggers, and steal what you can with these character builds. Birdie, starting with you, what have you made for us?
I've made a Rogue Artificer, 5 levels Rogue to an Artificer. And the character is a detective. His name is Mary Conan, and he's a very, very old high elf.
Yeah.
Half elf with high elf heritage, and therefore he's not the most constitutional guy. He has just 8 constitution, and his whole time he's solving crimes and mysteries. Not always the legal way, but he solves them on his own ways. He uses his artificer abilities to enchant his weapons and to create his little gadgets to spy on his enemies, to spy on his subjects. Most of the time he's preventing a combat. He's not the most engaging guy. He's used his sneak attack with his crossbow, uncanny dodge, cunning action to get away from his enemies. If he has a possibility, he would like to get a bag of tricks or dust of disappearance, just in case he needs to flee from his current situation. His major feat is the Dungeon Delver feat, where he can unlock traps and see traps everywhere, which comes in very handy when he solved his crimes. He's using his basic spells like first level spell Grease and Firebolt to ignite any tavern you like to see burning. And he's also using his mending ability to repair his gadgets if they sometimes get destroyed. As a detective, he absolutely needs the spell Identify, and therefore he also has a high investigation skill. He's proficient in investigation. His archetype of Rogue is Thief.
Yeah, I saw that.
Therefore, he has the fast hands and the second story work. My intention was that he uses his fast hand abilities not to steal stuff from others, instead of he's placing into the inventory of others, like his little spying gadgets into the bag of holding of another group.
Ah, okay. I was wondering why you went for the thief archetype. I was like, this is a detective who steals, but you're actually planting stuff on them to keep tabs and follow them and...
Somehow the opposite of a standard Rook. He's not stealing, he's giving.
I guess, yeah.
And in those extreme situations, you could do the Skyrim thing and put a Alchemist Fire in someone's pack.
Yeah, sure.
So it's basically Sherlock Holmes meets a sort of stripped-down version of Iron Man.
I was thinking Detective Gadget, maybe.
Even
Gadget.
better. It's Inspector Gadget, yes.
Or somehow a MacGyver guy.
Yes.
Oh.
That's the basic intention of him.
I was wondering when you showed us the build why you went 5 rogue and 2 artificer. I was like, what are you doing with the artificer? And I kind of get it now. It's like, okay, you get the extra spells, but it's also you get all those little items you can craft and build to get up to sneaky, devilish things.
When I create characters, I always think of the background, how they get their abilities, and he's not the one who's learning because he wants to expand his knowledge. He's learning because he wants to overcome problems, and that's why he chose to be an artificer instead of a wizard or warlock. Because a wizard don't solve the problems directly. A wizard has a spell for everything, but not for that case he wants to solve.
And you've put the age at 112 years old, and so why have you placed the character at being that age? What was the idea behind that?
Yeah, it's because he has so high scores that I have to put something down, because in my opinion every character needs to have flaws and low stats, and that's constitution. He always has a walking stick, and yeah, he's not the fastest.
Not a sword cane?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I like to imagine that maybe the walking stick is the crossbow.
Potentially. And so not really used to seeing that many artificers because it recently came out with Tasha's. And so I'm still getting used to all the different types of infusions and such. Then you've gone with enhanced weapon, enhanced defense, armor of magical strength, and enhanced arcane focus. Yeah,
they are just the enhanced weapon and enhanced defense is for fighting. In those cases, he has to fight. Armor of tools is meant that he can place his gadgets into his armor.
Okay,
so if his winkles are getting touched by handcuffs, magic appears and unlocks the shackles.
And sort of character-wise or role-playing-wise, how would this character be or sound?
He's merry. He's not very friendly. He's
Oh, cantankerous. Okay.
yeah, with his work, he's just doing it because of the money. And if you're looking for him, you don't find it at home or in his office. Most likely in the tavern, drunk in a corner.
His alignment is pure neutral. I just see
Pure
it.
neutral,
So yeah,
yeah.
not too friendly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
somehow.
yeah.
He doesn't has a very edgy backstory. He's divorced for sure because he drinks too much and don't get in the money. He's quite intelligent, but not very full of wisdom. Kind of naive, I would say, but his persuasion and intimidation skills always helps him out in the social situations.
All right, I like the build. I wasn't really sure what to expect at first, and now it all ties in. It all kind of makes sense.
Beautiful, magical, maverick cop.
Once you hear about it, seeing it changes it dramatically.
All right, I think I'm going to move on to my build.
Yeah.
So I created Cat, who is a Rogue 6 Warlock 2 human variant. The way I see her, she is a bit of an infiltrator. So I basically created an infiltrator build. You want to get in somewhere, get the information, get out, or spy. That's kind of what you're getting with this build. I've put her background as being a faction agent. So she might be working for the Harpers or the Lord's Alliance, trying to get that info and do with it what she can and pass it on. Now, nothing too exciting on the rogue side. I've just gone 6 levels of rogue and into assassin. So obviously you get those, you get the sneak attack, the cunning action, the uncanny dodge. Advantage against targets that haven't acted. So if you hit a surprise target, you crit. Standard rogue fare there, nothing special. But where you're still getting some extra stuff is really with the 2 levels of Hexblade. And there's 2 ways to build a warlock, okay? You either go Eldritch Blast or you go Hexblade. Those are the 2 types of rogues that exist, okay? So Hexblade is slightly overpowered because basically what it allows you to do is say, right, forget dexterity, I'm just going to use charisma for everything now. And that's kind of what I've done with this build. I've put 14 dexterity, so that's where it is, but I've got 18 charisma. It's because I'm now using charisma for talking and doing all my attacks. And then I've got 12 wisdom, 10 intelligence, 14 con, and 8 strength. So sort of dump strength and kind of dumped intelligence. And so yeah, with Hexblade, you get to use charisma for your attacks, but you also get your Eldritch Invocations. And this is where it starts getting nasty, is I've taken Mask of Many Faces, which allows you to cast Disguise Self at will. Yes. So now you're just a stealthy bugger that just goes into place and you get to transform into somebody else, basically. And I've also taken Devil's Sight for the 120 feet of dark vision, so you can just basically go anywhere. On top of that, I've taken 2 feats. So one as a variant human and one at level 4. And both of them give me +1 charisma. So actor gives me +1 charisma, but also advantage on impersonating individuals. So now if you can disguise yourself and you have advantage in impersonating people, it gets. And also Shadow Touch feat from Tasha's, which gives you invisibility once per day. You can just cast it for free. And also I've taken Illusory Script, just for writing down information, hiding it, masking it. What else have we got in terms of Hexblade? You get Hexblade's Curse. You get to basically mark 1 target and you crit on 19. You do some extra damage to them. If they die, you regain some HP. And spell-wise, because we also get spells with Warlock, so you just get extra stuff on extra stuff, basically. Eldritch Blast, obviously. So now you've got range. So you've got your Rapier for up close and range with Eldritch Blast. It's basically the best damaging cantrip in the game. You just get for free. And it scales with your level. So even though you're a level 2 Warlock, at level 5, you're doing 2d10. And then at level, I think it's 11. Is that right?
11.
Yeah, 3d10. You just get it. Second cantrip is Mage Hand, just for utility. 3 spells of them. I get this. Although you only have first level spell slots, it's still kind of good. Hex, obviously. Again, just more damage on damage, and Charm Person. And then, Disguise Self at will and invisibility once per day. So you basically are the perfect infiltrator. You just go into a place and you own it, basically. You can hide, make yourself invisible, pretend to be somebody else, become an illusion. If you get found out, you just charm them. Slightly broken, I must say. I don't know what you guys agree, but
Fundamentally, you've created the chameleon from Spider-Man.
potentially, yes.
A face that becomes anyone, and perfect voice mimicry.
Yes, with actor feat, yeah.
Or Decoy Octopus from Metal Gear Solid.
I don't know any of those, but I agree with you, Carl.
You need to watch more TV and play more games, Anton.
But Carl, this isn't a Spider-Man podcast, so
You did not. You did not.
yes. I don't think I've missed out on anything. You get proficiency with Disguise Kit and Poisonous Kit. So again, just extra goodies. Yeah, my Persuasion. So here's the extra thing. With Rogue, you get 2 expertise. Okay? I've put all that expertise into Stealth and Charisma. So I basically get +8 Stealth, disgusting, +10 Persuasion, just disgusting again, and you probably have advantage on that check anyway. So you can't go roll less than an 11, and +7 Intimidation. So yeah, it's kind of a lot. Rogue is very front-loaded, and Warlock is also super front-loaded. So you just take a bit of a dip in Warlock, and you get a lot out of it, basically.
I mean, yeah, just taking 1 level of Hexblade just boosts a lot of classes.
Yes, it does.
But getting the invocations from 2nd level, I mean, you're a Hexblade, right? So I suppose if you're searched, you don't have a weapon on you because you conjure it as part of
No,
Hexblade?
that's Pact of the Blade, I believe.
Oh, beg your pardon. Okay.
That's at 3rd level, yeah.
Well, still, I mean, if you're with the assassination bit, if you're getting your auto crits, you're doubling your weapon damage, your 3d6 sneak attack,
Hex
you've
plus
got
sneak
the
attack,
poisonous Hex, you've got poisonous kit, so you potentially double your poison if you've coated your weapon in that. Like, yeah, you can delete people.
This build is actually slightly underpowered. I'll tell you.
What?
I'll tell you why. It's because actually what you should do is actually go 3 levels of Warlock, because
Well, I mean, you got another level you can eventually take.
you can, yeah, you can. But you should actually go 3 levels of a Warlock, or even 5 levels of Warlock. The main reason is to do with the Hexblade. So it allows you to use Charisma for your attacks, but you only get 1 attack, right? And so you can't actually dual wield because only one of your weapons is the Hexblade. The other one will be relying on your Dexterity, which is less, which is at 14 as opposed to 18. So what Pact of the Blade at level 3 Warlock allows you to do, it allows you to create a second Hexblade weapon. So what you would want is 2 short swords with Hexblade, so you can actually get 2 shots at sneak attack, 2 shots at Hex, and 2 shots at Hexblade's Curse. So what you really want to do with this build is actually go 3 levels of Warlock, which I haven't done, but you should if you would like an even more broken build.
I'm assuming you'd probably want to start going Warlock early then, so start Rogue, then go Warlock. Maybe after like Rogue 4, that way you get your feet and everything, and then...
Yeah, I've actually gone the other way around. I've actually started with Warlock because you get proficiency in con saves, just to keep that Hex up. I think that might be worth it, but up to you. You can go Rogue, you can Warlock. It's not too much of an issue. You actually also get, with Warlock, you get, or Hexblade, you get medium armor, which you don't get with Rogue. So again, just like another reason to go 2 levels of Warlock. It's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, I think that's pretty much the build. I like thematically slightly broken or overpowered, I would say, but cool. But I was kind of interested in seeing what your guys' thoughts are on Rogue, because I've actually realized you can multi-class Rogue with everything. The only thing you can't multi-class Rogue with, I think, is Druid. Like Druid Rogue kind of doesn't work, but like Rogue Fighter, Rogue Cleric, Rogue Ranger, Rogue Wizard, Rogue Barbarian is like really good apparently, because you can actually use Strength. Yeah, that's kind of where I get Rogue. It's just the best class to multi-class into.
Yeah.
It is very, very good.
I would mention that Rogue and Druid can also be very effective. You just need 1 level in Rogue, because you can transform into a bird, a spider, a rat, or something else, climb up a tree, and fall down as an assassinate your enemies from top of the trees without getting noticed.
Ooh. See,
yeah,
that is some out-the-box thinking.
Wait. No, hold on. You need 2 levels to transform as a druid, right? I believe. It's not first level.
Yeah,
and to fly, I think you need 5 levels of...
You don't need to fly. You can climb as a spider.
True. That's good thinking. Okay. But basically, you can multi-class Rogue into anything, and that's why I love Rogues. You can just use it in so many different ways, and I think thematically it absolutely hits the spot. Like for me, if there's one class that just works, hits, there's no complaints, it's Rogue. You get the sneak attack, you get to be the sneaky boy, you get to use your tools, you can become a mastermind. A swashbuckler is like a fighting variant of Rogue, which I think was really, really well done in Xanathar's. Yeah, I find Rogue very, very satisfying to play. Carl, Dan, Birdie, if you agree.
Yeah, no, I've got a fighter rogue in a campaign I'm no longer playing, but he was twin weapon fighter, and then you just add that rogue. I went down the route of assassin. just he walked into a room, and if he got the benefit of haste as well, he just walked in and he chose what he wanted to delete. It was you.
Yeah, and sneak attack scales super, super well. So you're just always getting. It doesn't matter how many levels you take; it just scales greatly, which is fantastic.
I mean, once again, I look at these two builds, and thematically they are worlds apart. But the one thing that both of them kind of say to me is that they are capable, right?
Yeah.
Like, Rogue's always good when it comes to skills. So there's loads of like out of combat stuff you can do, but then in combat, Rogue's got a shed load of tools. Birdie, I mean, with yours, then adding on the Artificer, which in terms of out of combat skill focus is second only to Rogue, right?
Yeah.
And thematically is really cool as well. I like it.
Yeah, just super. Like, it's a character that can kind of engage in all aspects of a D&D campaign, which I think for me is what kind of defines like a good character.
I just had one last point I wanted to mention, and it's expertise. Expertise is such an underutilized, not item, underappreciated feature in D&D and in Rogues. I feel like every single class should have expertise. And this is like controversial. Yes, the rogue gets to be the special boy, so maybe they get more. They get more expertise. They get 3 instead of 1. But realistically, clerics should get expertise in religion, right? Fighters should get expertise in strength or athletics. Wizards should have expertise in arcana, and it just means that your character is the best at this. Because otherwise, you're basically saying, all right, we have these 2 characters that have +4 wisdom or +4 intelligence, and they're the same. They know exactly the same things. Whereas you kind of want to be the special person, which is kind of what the rogue is.
You could always house rule it. That's, if we ever run a game, Anton, I fully expect that my barbarian to have expertise in athletics.
Yeah, or intimidation. That'd be quite cool.
Intimidation, exactly, even better.
I actually have band expertise at my tables.
What? Get out of here, Birdie. Get out of here.
I mean, before we wrap up, very quickly just want to let us know why?
Maybe I have a different style of playing, because I think that expertise ruins the game because players tend to only use their expertise skill. They always say, I'm the expertised in Arcana, I can solve it. And then they are disturbed by the fact that they don't solve the problem. That's why I have banned expertise for level 1 to 10. And on higher levels, I allow expertise because that's the point where your heroes become real heroes. They fight monsters on a level that could destroy town, a hamlet or something. And at this point, they should be able to be expertised in something.
You train up to being an expert into something.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we will be able to bring those builds to you soon. We're still looking at the best way of doing that. Hopefully you'll be able to bring the expertise of these 2 builds to your table soon. Oh, shut up. But with that, let us move on. Thanks for watching. We release segments like this from the Tavern Between Dimensions every Friday here on the Explorers of Elsewhere channel. Otherwise, if you want to listen to the episode in full, you can check us out on Spotify and Amazon Music.